And now you're talking energy with a capital E. Good morning.
Capital E, yes. You know why I love this subject so much? Because for me, energy equals choices. Because we want to choose. Do I want to go to that party? Do I want to go to that meet? Do I want to meet up with that person? Do I want to take that course? And I think our world gets a little bit smaller when we do not have that energy, when we're feeling quite flat and we're just like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, I like that. It robs us of choice. It makes life smaller and we feel more limited when we lack in energy. Why are so many people saying they're exhausted these days? I mean, I'm hearing it constantly and I've got my theories, but you're saying it's not necessarily just one thing. Like we can just go, the weather, or, I'm getting old, or, I had a poor night's sleep. But why? Why is it? Is it the way we're living? Are we doing something horribly wrong on a daily basis?
Well, we all have our busy days and life can be busy, but I think exhaustion is not normal. Like when we wake up in the morning and we're still as tired as we were, or if not more tired than we went to sleep, something's going on. And it's not your body trying to give you a hard time. It's your body trying to get your attention and going, look at me, look at me. This is not quite right. And I think that people are often looking for one reason they're tired. I think it's work. I think it's sleep or whatever that is. But I rarely see in clinic that there's one reason that people are tired. It's often a domino effect. And our body systems might start somewhere, but it might go on to another system and another system. Like, for example, if we are, hey, I'm eating fairly well, but what are we absorbing in our nutrients? Because food is our petrol. And sometimes that we sort of let that one go. Or, oh, gosh, it's 2:00. I haven't eaten yet today. I should grab something. But you never do that you'd never do that for your car, right? It's like, oh, sorry, forgot to put petrol in the car.
Well, if you do, you know about it. You grind to a halt. But we should expect ourselves to grind to a halt then, shouldn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what we're running on. And if you add things in like, hormones going through, maybe perimenopause and menopause, we've got commitments with work and kids, but the thing is, if there's underlying reasons why we're exhausted, all of those things seem that little bit harder. And that's when we get mood changes, and maybe it's like, I've got anxiety for the first time in my life. I'm feeling sad. I got depression. I'm saying no to things I'd like to say yes to, and it can come down to getting a blood work from a GP and looking at some maybe nutrient deficiencies. For women, iron deficiency is quite common. B12, folic acid, magnesium, calcium. All those things are adding up when I have a look at what in front of people of reasons why that they're tired.
You mentioned right at the beginning there not being able to get the nutrients out of our food. So sometimes is what you're saying, that sometimes we're putting it in our mouth, we're chewing it, we're swallowing it, we go, oh, we've got all these, great resources in this food I'm eating. I'm eating healthy. I'm doing the air quotes because that's a spectrum. But we're not able to actually get the most out of that food because something else is going on with us.
Yeah, like if our gut function is under, if our microbiome, so to say, is not firing, then one common thing that I ask people is like, when you have a meal, do you feel energized after food? And often people will go, oh no, actually after lunch I could lie down and have a nap. That sort of indicates to me that what you're eating, you're not digesting it, you're not absorbing it very well, and the body's going, oh gosh, this is the hard work. Hold on, everybody. I just need to stop everything else, brain function, whatever that is, and completely concentrate on digestion. And that shouldn't happen that way. Once we have a meal, be like, right, let's go. I've had my lunch. I got a full afternoon. I've had my breakfast. I got a full morning.
So if food's making us tired instead of energized, that would be one of the keys that I've got to have a look at what's going on here.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. I've got a text here from Angie, and looks like we've got a caller on the line as well. Angie says, by 2:30 in the arvo, I fall asleep on the couch. If I have coffee, I stay up all night. How do I get rid of that nana nap?
Great question, and such a common one. Thank you so much. I think one of the key things that we can do to maintain our energy through the day, number one, if we get up in the mornings and have protein within 20 minutes of waking. So
right,
protein,
so not like a bowl of rice bubbles.
No rice bubbles. Like boiled eggs, some yogurt, a handful of nuts. It doesn't have to be elaborate, but it just gets that blood sugar going in the mornings. And have that have your protein, and then have coffee afterwards. And sometimes we get it back to front.
Totally. I am totally addicted to coffee first up. And
Yes.
I'm trying, because I've talked to you before, Mary Martin, I've had you in, and she's going to be looking at you going, she's still doing that thing. But it doesn't have to be a lot of food, does it? It could just be
Not
like
at all.
a handful.
But for Angie in the afternoons, it's a matter of having that protein intake within 3 hours all day long. People go, wow, 3 hours. That's.
I feel like you're eating all the time.
But it doesn't. Like I said, it doesn't have to be like a mid-morning, mid-afternoon. Have that handful of nuts. Have that boiled egg. Have something that's easy and ready to go, and have protein with your lunch. And I think by taking your foot off the gas of that petrol, so to say, we're getting that slump in the afternoons. But also listening to the body, like I said, if you're tired after foods, you are eating something that the body is not absorbing. It's like, no, this is way too hard. Because if your body is loving the foods that you're eating, it's going to give you that energy burst.
Mm-hmm. And you want that sustainable energy too, which is why the proteins are important.
Yes. So carbohydrates are great. I'm not bagging carbs. Carbs are the sprinter. Protein is the long-distance runner.
Oh, nice analogy. I like that. What are some of the signs that our bodies are heading towards exhaustion before we completely crash? Like if we can catch some of those early signs, can we avoid what I guess people would describe as burnout, or, going somewhere that's really hard to recover from?
Yeah, and you don't want to tip the scales too far, and that's the thing that people... And myself, I've experienced as well. You sort of rely on your body to push it through. And I hear a lot of people, I'm just pushing through. But just be mindful of that term, pushing through, because one day your body's going to go, I'm not doing this anymore. So things that you're looking out for is that you are tired on waking. You're poor sleep. Being tired all day, then having that second wind in the evenings, because that's your stress hormone, cortisol, spiking inappropriately at night when you're trying to wind down, or having the wakeful time between like 1 and 3, where you're so tired, but you're feeling quite wired. And that's, again, that cortisol spike, when it's supposed to be at its absolute lowest, is peaking inappropriately.
Yeah. I was a classic for that. I kept thinking,
so
am I part
frustrating.
vampire? Am I becoming a vampire? Because I'd be tired all day, and then downward, the sun would go. And as soon as it got dark, I'd be like, ta-da, I'm back.
Right.
And I'd be ready to roll. And I'm like, but I've been tired all day, and I knew I needed sleep. Happy to report that is beginning to change.
Oh, good.
Which is nice.
Yes.
Like I have this consistent energy, and then suddenly I'm tired, and I'm like, yep, it's bedtime. That's why I'm tired.
And having that wind-down routine at nighttime can give the body signals that it is time to go to bed. Like the screen's off,
Yeah, I was going to say,
shower.
can we talk about some of the psychological side of this? Because I think many of us are conditioned, shall I say, rather than wired. We're wired for something that we're not doing, but we're conditioned to think we need to keep going, we need to push through, and that we don't need much sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead, says John Bon Jovi. Thank you very much. If I don't sleep, I will be dead.
And I think, one thing that people notice is mood changes. And one things like, oh my gosh, people around me are just so annoying these days. Like your patience goes out the window, and you're in traffic and you're reacting, and you're like, oh, hold on, what's going on, girlfriend? Things are shifting with my moods. I don't have the the patience or the resilience, I suppose, with the world around, because life requires patience a lot of the time, doesn't it?
Andrew from Catharaba has texted through saying, I think all humans would benefit from a 15-minute sleep after eating lunch. I feel brand new. The Latinos have the best lifestyle in the world thanks to their daily siestas. Thank you for that one, Andrew. Mary, am I right in guessing that you're talking about there's a difference between choosing to meditate or have a siesta and that absolutely that huge slump in energy where you just can't keep going? Like they're two different things. One is choice.
Yeah,
it's like, I've just had a meal. I'd like to have a little reset, a little siesta. I practice these days yoga nidra, and that I'm completely revived after. That's technically not sleep, they tell me. Sometimes I think I nod off. But that's quite different to what Angie was talking about, where it's just like, if I don't crash out, I'm just not going to get through the day.
Yeah, Angie and many in her camp are just, there's no choice. They're just exhausted. And then the problem with that cycle is that you're tired, you're sleeping poorly, you wake up, you're tired, but you're still wearing all the hats. You're still a mom, you're still a dad, you still go to work, you still have kids, you still have all these commitments. But then it's like, well, I'm not taking the week off because I'm tired. But that's exactly what your body's needing. But we just keep pushing through, and that's when it gets to the danger zone of that sort of burnout style. So it's really important to create boundaries. When you're feeling this way, you really, really have to guard our energy. Like, it's fine to start saying no to things. Like, I'm overcommitted, I can't do that. Thanks for asking. I'll check in with me next week. But you really have to guard our energy, because if we just keep giving it out to things that are not necessary, then it's just going to compile into a mess in a dress on the ground.
Yes, and often the person we need to say no to is ourselves. Ourselves. So, Andrew's a big fan of the siesta.
I agree with Andrew, but it's a wonderful ritual if you can do it on when you have the time. But it's that not having a choice that takes that power away.
Now, let's talk about food amounts. Let's finish on this one, because I think it will not be our only talk we have about energy. It's such a big topic, and I'm just hearing it everywhere that people are exhausted. Actually, we're not going to finish on this one. This will be the second last question, because I've got one as well. Angie says, so eat a whole chicken. Now, I think that's Angie's way of saying what's the amount that we should be eating with that protein.
Yeah, Angie, great, perfect question. Not really, no. Really, when we look at protein, we kind of look at palm of your hand. Like, gone are the days that we need the big steaks. Like, that's making us tired. There's so much to break down.
I know, and they're so expensive. Like, if you go to a restaurant these days, having something really basic like a burger is like $30, and it's like, I don't need all that food. Could we make it half the size and half the price? I'd be all much happier. Yeah.
But no, just palm of the hand protein, whether that's vegetarian protein with using legumes, whether you want to have some hummus with some crackers or some carrots, a piece of chicken, a couple of boiled eggs. But we don't need a lot of food,
don't
right?
Need the whole bird, Ange.
Not the whole bird.
Tempting as it might be at times.
The leg and how about the thigh? How about the thigh of the bird?
That's my favourite bit. It's 8:25. Mary Martin, the Hormone Queen's Queen, the Queen of the Hormone Queens, is with us in the studio. Just for a couple of minutes longer, I want to talk about age, because I've hit that point in life where friends, some of whom are younger than me, are putting their lack of energy down to age. And as I said at the beginning of our chat, Mary, I'm the oldest I've ever been. I'm getting older every day, but my energy is better than ever. And I don't mean that necessarily as a brag. I have had to work on it. I've had to put those boundaries in place and make some changes about the way I was doing things. But is it possible that as we age, we have less energy, or could we maybe find a way to age with energy?
Yeah, 100%. I think you and I are the same age, or within a year of each other.
Born in the same year.
Born in the
same vintage, as we say.
We are vintage. But I'm the same. Energy is my superpower. And it's not a given. I think we just can have these things in our mind to justify why we don't have energy, or justify why we're not feeling at our best. Mm-hmm. And age comes in quite a bit. But, obviously we see people who are much older than us who have that energy. I think it's really a matter of finding the underlying reasons why we're tired. And like I said, there's often not one reason. Maybe it started with one reason, but it's compounded now. And it's just sitting in front of someone and finding out what's going on. Because if you're not